Hey, this is Matt once again. We're about to another video. This is a paid request for Jonathan. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. Do have a CashApp as well. Links are down below in the info box. There could be any type of review, re-review, topic reaction, commentary, video game playthrough, tier list ranking, movie news, whatever the case. PayPal, Cash App, however you send it, I'll get to it as soon as I can. For those who sent them, thank you. I do appreciate it. And he wanted me to take another look at the 1995 film Outbreak, which has been a bit since I've seen this film, but I've always enjoyed the movie. It's directed by Wolfgang Petersen. He's done a lot of films I've enjoyed. Air Force One, In the Line of Fire, with Clint Eastwood. And this has a stacked cast. I mean, you got Dustin Hoffman, Morgan Freeman, Rene Russo, Donald Sutherland, may he rest in peace. You got Kevin Spacey, yes, Cuba Gooding Jr., Patrick Dempsey, J.T. Walsh has a small role in it. Great character actor. A lot of familiar faces in this. And as the title suggests, it's about an outbreak in a small California town. And Dustin Hoffman, Rene Russo, and others have to try to figure out how to stop it, what caused it, what the host is, and ultimately you find out it's a monkey. Now, this got a little bit of resurgence, at least for a short amount of time, when the pandemic happened. I know this and the other film, Contagion, got a lot of, I don't know what, airplay, how do you want to call it, on streaming. Now, I know a lot of people like Contagion more. Contagion, I'm not a fan of. Yes, I'm sure if you put them back to back, Contagion will be the more logical movie, will be the more realistic movie. Contagion may be the more logical film, but to me, this film had a bit more heart, humanity, and soul to it. You say because of it's more of a Hollywood production and the cast and how the characters are actually characters and whether it be some bits that have a sense of humor to them, all this other stuff. To me, that helps in terms of entertainment, in terms of escapism, in terms of being a movie, in terms of the story. Just makes it much more, to me, makes it much more of an interesting story to follow because of those elements. Now, I know there was going to be another film called Crisis in the Hot Zone. I believe Ridley Scott was going to direct it, and at one point Robert Redford was going to be in it. Maybe Jodie Foster, but I know Robert Redford was going to be in it. And then that's one of the reasons why this film got made. It got fast-tracked, is it wanted to beat that film, but then ultimately, that film never came out, and this film, of course, did. And it did okay at the box office. It wasn't a mega blockbuster, but it did fine. Crisis in the Hot Zone never got made, although I believe there was a miniseries called The Hot Zone, like way, way, way down the road. But I guess maybe they looked at the box office of Outbreak, like things fell apart. And then if Outbreak was this monumental, like $200 million hit, okay, we'll still make it. But they saw it did okay. It's like, well, maybe we won't go for that as well. But like I said, I've always enjoyed this film. And I guess part of me thought they were going to repackage this movie out onto physical media because of the success during the pandemic, but maybe it's like, well, people watch it, but that doesn't mean people want to buy and own it. Because the Blu-rays, I think, out of print. Now, maybe you get one from overseas, but good luck trying to find it, a Blu-ray in the U.S. Now, the plot of the film, you have a group of people going to this village decades before, and there's this virus called the Motaba virus. People who we come to find out is a younger Donald Sutherland and a younger Morgan Freeman. They see just how terrible the disease is, has a high mortality rate, and we'll take care of you, but they bomb the shit out of the place. I thought it was a really nice shot when you think the plane is dumping supplies to them, and then you see like the doctor kind of look at that realization of kind of like he just realizing what it is, and kind of that, oh shit, is that what he thought it was? And then just annihilates the whole area. It's many years later. There's another African village that's also infected with a virus, and come to find out is the same virus. Now, Dustin Hoffman and them don't know about what happened back to the day, but Morgan Freeman and Donald Sutherland, who's now climbed up the ranks, they do. Oh, just, hush, quiet. Dustin Hoffman's like, well, wait a minute, this is a virus, this is crazy, we need to study it more. Of course, upper shenanigans, they want to use it as a weapon, all this other stuff. One that leads to another. One of the monkeys there in that village gets caught, trapped, taken to California with some shenanigans, gets taken off under, don't tell anybody, payments, take the monkey, sell it to a pet store, make a couple of bucks and change, only that money ain't gonna do you good because you can't spend money when you're dead. So what happens is Patrick Dempsey, you fucked it up. It's Patrick Dempsey's fault. It's all Patrick Dempsey's fault. Yeah, blame it on him. Damn you, Patrick Dempsey, you fucked up. You fucked up. And more people get sick. Ultimately, they're able to get to this small town in California. They quarantine it, and then it's about them trying to find the disease, trying to find the host, and trying to stop the military from bombing the whole town and killing all the citizens there, sick and non-sick. And that's how the story goes. Now, what really propels the movie for me is the cast. Dustin Hoffman, I think, is a great actor. And he didn't get to do a whole lot of these type of movies, meaning movies that are in the kind of the realm of, I don't know if I want to say action, but it's the type of character that would fit in an action movie, which is much more intense. He's driving the plot forward. He is, getting angry at people, fighting for what's right, assertive, kind of the main leading hero guy. Because a lot of times he plays parts where it's much more like Rain Man or kind of The Graduate. He doesn't really do those kind of parts. So this was a nice, refreshing change of pace for him. And it was great to see him in this element. I kind of wish we got to see it more. You see a little bit of that in Sphere, which is one of the reasons I do like that film, despite its flaws. But this is my favorite performance of his, because he got to be in that realm, where he got to be, either funny, like the bits between him and his ex-wife, Rene Russo, and who don't take the dogs, and they're arguing about the dogs as if it's their kids, or kind of at first the playful banter, and then it gets more and more intense throughout between him and Morgan Freeman, where there's a bit where Morgan Freeman goes, "Now how did I make your life miserable?" And Freeman looks at him and goes, "Well, you got up this morning, didn't you?" Or him being courteous and a big brother, boss, guidance to the new rookie played by Cuba Gooding Jr. Because there's a point where he gets scared and he's like, "Hey, it's okay, man. In fact, I don't want anybody on my team working for me who isn't scared." Or I get more and more into Morgan Freeman. Who am I talking to, huh? Am I talking to McClintock? Am I talking to the government? Am I talking to this? Who am I talking to, huh? just a whole range of emotions. From he's trying to get this information. It's like, hey, we're from that town that had a lot of sick people. Hey, George, can I call you George? Shall I cough on you, George? No. Okay, can you give me what I want then, or shall I cough on you? That's where you get the whole range, and that was great to see Dustin Hoffman do that kind of part, because he didn't get to do that too often. And he did a really good job. Now, yes, Dustin Hoffman, you're not going to see him in a fighting, punching people, all that stuff. So this is like, put him in an action movie realm, but in the right character circumstances that would fit his persona, his look, his body structure. So it was a nice fit for Dustin Hoffman. I thought he played off well with Rene Russo, who plays his ex-wife. Kevin Spacey, despite what we could think of him nowadays, if I'm being fair, he did a good job here as a guy who had a good sense of humor to him. He has some funny lines earlier on when they're on the way to the African village, and he's talking with Cuba Gooding Jr.'s character, and hey, this guy has an order to not get killed, and that's actually an order he may follow. And hey, if you don't like Kevin Spacey, he gets killed. Not only killed, but killed horribly because he gets the disease. So if you liked him, he gives a good performance. If you don't like him, he dies horribly. So you get the best of both worlds, I guess. Cuba Gooding Jr., this is not too long after Boys in the Hood. I think he had done Judgment Night by this point, which is an underrated one. This is before Jerry Maguire, so nice up-and-coming actor, Cuba. Donald Sutherland, he plays the bad guy, general. He always fit well as the bad guy, whether it be in Stallone's film Lockup, or this movie, or Backdraft. He always could bring that sinister edge to his voice and his cadence. And then Morgan Freeman, as the guy kind of stuck in between, where he's following orders, and he give these intense speeches to Dustin Hoffman. I'm the boss here. You do what I tell you to do. But you could easily have him showcase that sympathy, and that he's a guy that ultimately we can root for. That he'll change. He'll turn around, and when he does the turn, when he starts listening more to Dustin Hoffman, when he starts to help him out more by the end, it doesn't feel out of left field. Because they have enough little nuggets of his reaction or his emotions. The show doesn't come out of the blue. And because it's Morgan Freeman, you buy, yep, come on, he ultimately he's going to be on our side. It's Morgan Freeman. Fantastic actor. So, let's see. Like I said, Patrick Dempsey, he's in as a guy who pays a guy off to get the monkey and sells it. He gets sick. He's not in the film too much. But Patrick Dempsey would be in Scream 3, in this underrated film called Run, which still needs a physical release. Underrated film. J.T. Walsh, I mean, he's only in like one scene, but he makes an impression because he's like pissed off at the cabinet of, before we do clean sweep and wipe this town out, okay, I read the Constitution, front to back. And these are American citizens. And you see those pictures, I want them to be embedded in your brain till the day you die. Like, just one scene. J.T. Walsh, with one scene, could steal it. And that's the kind of actor he was. And, I mean, whether he was the bad guy in Breakdown, he was in that film Needful Things, he could play a big part and just... He has that intensity, he has that spark that you will remember him. One scene and I still remember him. I think they even used a bit of it in the trailer. And as for how realistic it is, listen, I am not an expert on this field. It could have 100 things wrong and I would not notice most of them. But it's supposed to be this virus that doesn't exist, in this case the Motaba. Which, weirdly enough, I think when this film came out, it was like based on Ebola, and then soon after or during there was an Ebola outbreak. But how do I put it? I mean, it's supposed to be a virus that hasn't been seen before. How accelerated it is. Again, I'm sure people in the medical field could probably pick this apart 50 times over. But I'm not having any knowledge in that field. I'm an outsider. And I just watch his entertainment, and it just didn't bother me. I enjoy the visual aspect of when they're in the movie theater. The person who's sick and they cough, and you see the point of view of whatever's in the cough flying through the movie theater and going to another person with their mouth open. It makes you rethink going to the movie theater, I'll say that. Or there's another bit where, wait, how is this person sick? He was in this room, he's away from them, and then Dustin Hoffman realizes, he looks at the vent, and like the AC or whatever's going, and you see it travel through the vents. When it comes out, Dustin Hoffman goes up there. It's like, it's airborne. I kind of wish Wolfgang Petersen used that a bit more. Granted, you can't overuse it, but maybe just a handful more times I would like to have seen him use that. But it's definitely a good way to visually tell people what's going on without having people to explain it with exposition. Nice visual way to showcase it. And it's definitely a big production to have this whole town with all these extras and all the military stuff. You have like real helicopters and like real helicopters telling this real, news chopper to get the hell out of Dodge. Or them having to stop people trying to leave, so they shoot the shit out of the vehicle because we can't have anyone leave, because, which is what they would do. People say it's unrealistic. No, they will really shoot you because they don't want you spreading the virus that's going to kill everybody else. Oh, I should mention my favorite bit, just because of how Dustin Hoffman says the line. This is what I'm talking about how I loved his character in this, because he's standing for what's right. He's a guy you would want on your side. And just the way he's arguing Morgan Freeman about what we need to do, we need to stop this, we need to get this under control. And Morgan Freeman's like, we're doing it. So, well, no, we're not doing it, because I just drove through 100 people, okay? If one of them's got it, then 10 of them's got it. And one of them escapes, then we're in deep fucking shit. We're already in deep fucking shit. I'm not laughing because I think it's a funny line. I'm laughing because I'm like, yeah, like, it was great to see Hoffman just get pissed and just like, I just love that line reading, sincerely. We're already in deep fucking shit. It's like a line I'll steal. And you see that throughout with like when he's talking with Kevin Spacey, who's dying, and he's asking, well, how many brain cells did I kill? And Hoffman's like, oh, I don't know, 1 billion. Then Spacey goes, well, I guess I'm as smart as you. Or when when they find out the host is a monkey, and they find where it's at, and there's the little girl, and the little girl's like, you're not gonna hurt it, are you? And the way Hoffman goes, no, I'm not going to hurt it. In fact, if I do, you could give a serious punch. You punch me in the nose. It makes her chuckle. A serious punch for a serious nose. Which people may think is corny, but he's talking to a little girl to try and make her trust them. Corny will work in that scene to make a little kid to trust you. So I thought it worked for that scene. And it didn't. I think the cast worked very well. You also have Captain Dale Dye, who's a military advisor and a ton of stuff. Ton of movies. And you see him pop up from time to time. He's a guy in the military who Donald Sutherland kind of keeps shitting on. And then when he's finally able to arrest Donald Sutherland, he has a little smile on his face. So I thought that was cool. They gave Dale Dye a bit of thing to do. Now, granted, I will say my interest in the film was a little less in the second half when we got away from the town and the virus. And it was more about, okay, we gotta find the host, and more about we gotta stop this bombing. Because, I don't know why. I guess because when you're in that town, there's just so much danger already. With you gotta have these masks on, and so they're on this constant verge of danger. Where if they rip a suit, which is what happened to Kim Spacey's character, then all the shit has hit the fan totally and supremely. And also because they have to go at a fast rate in the second half where we have a deadline where the bomb is, so they have to super fast find where this is at, get the info they need, get to over here, get on a boat, get over there, get to the host. I'm like, are they doing this within a day? Holy shit, I wish real life was that fast, where they get shit settled within that day. In real life, it would take fucking weeks. So, but again, are you doing this for realism or are you doing it for entertainment? I'm going for entertainment value. So, yeah, I thought the virus itself looked scary. Obviously, they make a higher mortality rate to give a bit more of a danger oomph to what's going on. And that's the thing, when I saw Contagion, I was actually intrigued. Because it's something we could all, in a way, relate to, and what would you do in that situation? And you saw what some people did. Some not so good. Didn't handle it so well. And Contagion just felt very sterile, very cold, very, as dumb as it sounds, emotionless. Like, I didn't feel anything. It was just kind of A to B to C, very, very technical, very, very more scientific than this. But again, I'm sure that impressed people who are into that stuff. But to me, it lost the emotional human element that I felt this film captured and still has. I thought the score was nicely done. Let me check. Who did the score for this? Maybe in the second half, there's maybe 5 minutes or so that could have been cut out, to be fair. Because I don't know if it needed to be a little over 2 hours. I mean, I didn't feel it too much, but who did the score? James Newton Howard. Yeah, I liked his score. I thought he did a good job. He did The Fugitive, which is another great score. He did The Dark Knight. Oh, he did it with Hans Zimmer. He did some of M. Night Shyamalan's films. I think he did Unbreakable. There's another great score. Yeah, I definitely like this. I know the bit where Cuba and Dustin are in a plane and the bomber planes come in and they're like, we're not moving, and kind of the close call. I know the music during that scene. I remember hearing in other trailers. I know I have heard that in trailers. So I think that piece of music was used in trailers later on. I swear it was. And yeah, it cost $50 million and made about $180 million worldwide. Apparently Harrison Ford, Sylvester Stallone, Mel Gibson were offered the lead, but turned it down. I could see all of them doing it. I'm glad Dustin Hoffman did, because it gave it a different... Like I say, it was so different for Dustin to do that it was nice for the actor to get that chance. Harrison Ford could have done it, sure. I could see it. Same with Mel Gibson. But yeah, I wanted to look into the Hot Zone. I wanted to look a bit into that film, if it's in here. Michael Mann, Ridley Scott. Ridley Scott signed on February 1994. Robert Redford and Jodie Foster. Jodie Foster dropped out of the film just before filming was to begin, and production was delayed. Meryl Streep, Sharon Stone, and Robin Wright were possible replacements. In August 1994, Robert Redford dropped out of the film. A few days after he left, pre-production had been shut down. So that's why. Had nothing to do with the box office, because the film had not even come out yet. So Jodie Foster dropped out. I'd be curious to see what made her drop out. Did you sign on and you get that close to it? I wonder what made her drop out. I wonder if anyone's ever asked her about that. So there you go. I know that wasn't the first time something fell apart with Ridley Scott, because I remember he also was going to do I Am Legend with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and then that never got made. So that's happened a few times with Ridley Scott. But yeah, I'm glad this film got made, because like I said, I enjoy the film. I think it still works well for what its intended purposes. But yeah, I think the disease, you definitely showcase how dangerous it is. I thought the makeup effect, like when Kevin Spacey, when he's totally sick, you see it very up close. I think it's effective. I think the humor, when it's there, it's appropriate. Doesn't feel like a tonal shift. I still think it works for what its intended purpose, like I said. I still quite like Outbreak. So, take that for what you will. Thanks for watching. Take care. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks once again, Jonathan. It was cool to rewatch this again, thanks to you. So, remind me how much I liked it. Yeah, it was a lot of fun to rewatch this. Because we're in deep shit. We're in deep fucking shit. Later.